The Affordable Care Act has created opportunities and challenges for PEOs around the country. So what we've done here at ThinkWare is we've made sure that we've given you the business intelligence you'll need to get reports both internally and to your customers to let them know how they're doing in relation to the ACA. So in addition to the dashboards such as the number of employees, full-time employees by Affordable Care Act status, that you're used to seeing, the different types of dashboards that we provide. We also provide some detailed reports, some client-facing reports I'll go over, and also I'll give you a preview of our summer of 2015 release that has an even more advanced dashboard that's going to be available for the clients to review their Affordable Care Act status for their employees. So starting with the back office, and back in the Darwin Business System, as you're used to if you've seen the system before, the home page is customizable based upon what users want to see when they log in. So somebody that's dealing with the Affordable Care Act as a back office user might want to get reminders and things like that immediately. So they at any time can click through a reminder and get a quick snapshot by client, how many employees have been offered coverage, the number of full-time employees that are working at that particular client to kind of monitor their Affordable Care Act status. So a very simple, quick, and easy way to see what clients and what employees have crossed thresholds. And we can set up custom reminders if the number's above 50, etc., things like that. And we can also go quickly into a status change where we can say, okay, show me everybody's whose ACA history status has changed this month or this day, depending upon what information you want to see. We can see across all time, we can see this month, this day, whatever information, what their previous status was and what their current status is. So some quick and easy ways to get a look at information quickly through our dashboards and our data links. But maybe even more important than that is our functionality that we put in the system to make it easy to maintain and set the ACA information up. So, as of January 2015, when I'm doing this video, the certain thresholds are set by the HHS for the ACA. Such as a full-time worker is considered 30 hours a week. The large employer limits 50 employees. The affordability percentage is 9.5%. And those things can change, and it doesn't look like they're going to change anytime quickly or soon, but you never know. And the Congress is constantly passing bills that are being vetoed or threatened to veto to change these things. So with our system, as opposed to having to wait for us if something changes, such if the average hours per week was shifted to 40 hours, you as a user can change that right away, and you can even do simulations, change it, run reports, and change it back if you wanted to. Do simulations to show your customers if those things do change, how that would affect them. So quick and easy ways for your users to react to changes in the law. You don't have to wait for us. We've given you consolidated screens to make these changes. And that not only applies to standard rules for the ACA, but also for client-specific items. For example, if I open up a specific customer here, my customer Harry Side Running Boards, and I go to their ACA setup screen, I have ability to set up custom look-back periods and what-if analysis for this particular customer. For example, if I say I'm going to wage their wages by 1% next year and their health premiums going up by 2% next year, how is that going to affect this customer's employees? Will they still be considered covered based upon the 9.5% rule? So based upon these settings, I can go run these reports at any time, my ACA reports, all the different reports that we give you that discuss who's affordable, who's covered, who's not covered, and even provide reports to your customers saying, okay, if you do that type of wage increase, how will that affect your employees? So you can give them a report or an Excel spreadsheet that shows them these employees will be still considered affordable. This employee, which I'm not paying any wages to, obviously, would not be considered affordable. So a deeper analysis than just what if, how they're looking right now, but what happens if things change in the future? How will that affect your customers? We can give them that reporting information currently in the system. And we can even provide that in, like I said, Excel spreadsheets, so they can actually see the information and provide it to them through their through the web if we want to see those things. So for example, for one specific customer, I might have an Excel spreadsheet here. It's called a dynamic Excel spreadsheet, which means the data is constantly being automatically refreshed from the back office. But what it does is it shows all the different employees and whether or not they've been offered coverage. So based upon the fact if they're considered full-time employees, based upon the data we have in the system, and whether or not we have actually offered them coverage is tracked, and this information is tracked by our system automatically. And I give them a nice kind of chart saying, you're not doing very well. You've got 80 employees, 84 employees. You've only offered 4 of them coverage, so we need to work on our ACA coverage, or what the benefits are, or even paying fines for these employees in the system. And this same type of spreadsheet can be offered to the client through the web. So if I'm a customer myself, and I'm actually going out through your website onto my self-service portal, when I log into the self-service portal, I can go into my reports directory area, any of the reports I actually want to see, daily hours, things like that, or I can actually go in and see that same dynamic Excel spreadsheet. You can choose to lock this down. Obviously, there's some HIPAA implications whenever we're dealing with health insurance and things like that. So you can require a secondary security check. That's simply leveraging Excel, so that's optional. You can turn that on and off. And the customer can see the same data through the web and even save this locally if they wanted to. So they could save a copy of this locally, do further data manipulation, anything else they want to do, because it's obviously presented nicely in an Excel spreadsheet. So that's all existing functionality within the system itself to help your customers. We're excited for our summer release because we're actually expanding this greatly. We're going beyond just internal dashboards and sending reports out to your customers, letting them dive into the data with Excel, making sure they're compliant with our typical kind of notifications and warnings that we have built into the system. We're going to give them a much more full-service dashboard that's available through the web. And so it'll have a different look and feel than the current version has. So when they log in, they get into kind of their HR portal area with a bunch of different areas they can dive into. And if they go into their ACA area right here, this is their ACA dashboard, they'll get an immediate summary of how many employees are full-time, part-time, how many have been offered coverage, how many are considered affordable, and all the employee information down here, kind of listed those employees, the full-time employees. I can jump over to the hours detail, and I can see the details by hours detail by month, and I'll be able to drill in and see it by pay period and by week if I want to also. I can do look-back analysis to see, based upon the look-back rules in the system, how if employees are full-time or part-time based upon the number of hours they've worked and their average hours. And I can do analysis and what if, so I can do the same types of wage changes and health premium changes from the dashboard without having to rely on the back office. So we're pushing all those different options out to the customer, so the customer will be able to do all these things if there's more of a self-service type of customer without interference from the back office employees. So it's an exciting feature, lets the customer have a full Affordable Care Act module available to them through the web. Current version allows the reporting through the Excel spreadsheets. Any of the back office reports can be sent to the customers through different notifications, alerts, emails, things like that. Thank you for your time.